All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol WKHS Workhorse Group Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Workhorse, as I've stated previously in my videos, it was in a very bullish run and it has worked its way up from its numbers in the past. So the bullish run has continued. I mean, we're still in a bullish run, even though there's been slight dips and sell off, taking profits, uncertainty, fear, whatever it has driven for it to fall. It rose back up, and right now we were in a bearish run. There was a recovery, and it's quickly fallen again. So I'm noticing in my observation here from these charts that there's a lot of profit taking going on quickly ever since this fall, because in this bullish run it was very steady. I mean, the volatility of the market is always there, the up and down, the up and down. But when you look at a point, let's just say you start right here, June 19th, and you go ahead and jump to July 24th, or even if we jump to July 19th, just to see the behavior in 1 month. Well, July 19th must have been a weekend, and it landed on July 20th, right? A whole month span. What's going on? Well, you started down there July 19th, way down here at 5 and some change, and then we're up here on the 20th at 15. So okay, that's 300% return already. And then you keep on looking and moving forward, and it rose up another $3, and then it rose up another total amount of 6 plus $2, that's $8. It rose another $8 in that run. So from 18 to 26, and then if you go all the way back, it's risen $21 from this point to that point. So Workhorse has been in an upward trend over time. The volatility, you could see it in the chart, up and down, breaks through the 50-day moving average, jumps right back up, falls right through it. And honestly, the worst sell-off was at its peak of $31, and it reached lows here of 20 and some change. It hasn't gone back to those close $20. Again, it's been in the 23, 22, 24 range. But another thing too is that Workhorse is showing growth. That's one thing I can state about Workhorse. If this momentum continues and Workhorse continues to focus on providing what it actually expects to provide for the public, and go ahead and follow through with their business plan and their innovation and so forth, Workhorse is on its way to continue rising. And also, if that contract that everybody's waiting for goes through, falls through, and gets approved, or at least if they get a piece of it, it just lets every investor know there's an opportunity for production, innovation, and obviously revenue on purchases being made based off of that total sum that's going to be provided to them, and closing that contract with USPS. But Workhorse is growing, and that's one thing I've noticed. That's great. But here in the short term, I want us to keep remembering that $31 is super important in the long run. That needs to be broken through so that Workhorse can see newer highs. And then our lows down here at $20.35, 30 cents in that area. That's what the bulls do not want to see again, and that's what the bears are going to try to break through. And every time the bulls have crossed lately the 50-day moving average, quickly the bears reappear. So right now we are seeing that it's happened twice. It ran up, it fell again, it ran up. It was a short momentum here, and quickly the bears have appeared, and they're bringing this one down. So we need to see what's important for tomorrow. Keep those numbers in mind. $20.35, 30 cents down here as the lowest point in the recent days, and obviously the peak up here at $31, so that this can see newer highs and newer resistance levels. Now, as we zoom in the recent days, about a week ago, it hit highs of $28.62. So if you want to write that down as well, that's a little bit more zoomed in for the next couple weeks, and $31 is for the long term. And let's go ahead and see here what is going on. So resistance was broken through. It seemed like there was momentum. It was used as support, and quickly the bears reappeared. Within 1 hour and a half, they tore this one down and broke through the 50-day moving average. Our 50-day moving average is 24.21. I'd write that down. That lets us know on what side of the chart we're in and who is dominating this chart. So right now, the bulls lost control. We are in bearish territory, and the bears are going to try to tear this one down as much as possible. Now, the good news is that our resistance level and support levels have moved up slightly, which means that, yes, this stock moved up a little bit, but the problem is that now we ended up in bearish territory because as this moved up, the 50-day moving average started to curve up with it, and then the bears took advantage of that and brought this one down fairly quickly. So that's something to keep in mind, that now the bears are in control. I'm not saying that they're dominating this or this is going to tear down, and just because we are right now in bearish territory, the bears have won. Actually, this is going to make the tug of war more interesting tomorrow to see who really is going to dominate this and go ahead, either turn this around by the bulls, bringing it back up over the 50-day moving average, or are the bears going to continue to tear it down? Because that's one thing that is easy right now for the bears, to tear this one down to newer lows. So that's something to bear in mind, pay close attention to, and see for yourselves what is going on. So let's go ahead and move this resistance level and support level to where it's supposed to be. And again, the 50-day moving average is 24.21. Write it down so we know what side of the chart we're in tomorrow. Right now it's at 24.07, and it has worked its way down to $24 post market. So it's jumping around 24.07, 24. Right now we're literally close to $24 closing price if it continues to work its way that way for the next 2 hours and a half. But right now it's at that point, and most important number here is our support. Our support level here is 2363. I'd pay very close attention to this number, because if 2363 gets broken through, this will start to see newer lows. It's gotten moved further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction, and if 2363 is broken through, this will start to see newer lows and quickly start to see new support levels. So very important. The next support level I would mention that's really close to this before that bullish run and then slightly falling by the bears is 2335. So if you want to write that down and keep that in mind, that's one of the lowest points within the last couple of days. And even as this was recovering, leveling off, recovering, leveling off, and before the run continued, that's one number to keep in mind. I mean, there's another one which is actually the lowest point recently, but I don't want to go into that unless we break through the first one up here at 2335. But right now, before all of that, 2363, I want to emphasize, pay very close attention to the behavior of this stock and how quickly is it moving to newer lows, or are the bulls even trying to reappear and bring this one back up? Because if that gets broken through, this is moving further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. Now, the first resistance level that the bulls want to break through before even getting to the one we're about to talk about is breaking through the 50-day moving average, but that's not considered a resistance level. That is just our indicator on what side of the chart we're in. Well, the first thing that the bulls want to do is break through the 50-day moving average to get back into bullish territory. Once they accomplish that, the first resistance level is 25.16. Turn that into a support and start to work their way up to newer highs. Ideally, the one number, which is the highest point here in this bullish run before the bears appeared, is 25.39. So that is the number that the bulls definitely want to break through to hit new highs, hit new resistance levels, and work as far away as possible from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. But before getting there, 25.16, super important to be broken through. And if the bulls accomplish that, they accomplished two things. They broke through the 50-day moving average, getting back into bullish territory, and they broke through resistance, working their way up to newer highs and pulling themselves further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction. So that resistance level right there is 25.16. Again, I want to emphasize how important it is. Watch the behavior of this stock if it breaks through the support of 23.63. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you feel inclined or encouraged to subscribe, please do so. Share this with your friends and community, And don't forget to hit the like button and let me know you watched this video. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. In that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it rises on specific dates. I highly encourage you to check it out. It's information that I want every viewer and investor to know about and not overlook or miss out on it, because not a lot of people are talking about it or are actually unaware of it. And what's going on is the S&P 500 is rising on these scheduled dates due to the Federal Reserve pump dates that are scheduled. And if the S&P 500 is rising up several points, that means that there are individual ticker symbols within the S&P 500 rising up with it. They rise anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share and maybe even more. And I know it doesn't sound like a lot per share, but that does add up. And like I always say, profits are profits. You have to do your due diligence and research. I'm just here to enlighten you guys on the great news that there's an opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. But I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just here to share the great news that there's an opportunity to profit. Check out the video. It's about to pop up. If it hasn't popped up already, click on it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.